Today I built this DIY security camera using ESP32-CAM. Whenever someone passes in front of it, the security camera detects the motion and instantly sends me a warning message along with a photo of that movement. I can even stream live video to check what's happening in real time. Believe me, this is a great project. In this video we will break down everything step by step. So let's get started. Okay, first let's understand what this project is all about. How we will make it, what components we need, and what exactly we want from it. So here's what I want. A device that can live stream video. It should send me a warning message when someone is detected. And most importantly, it should be budget friendly. Now the best option for this kind of project is the ESP32-CAM. It has a built-in camera and a Wi-Fi module, which means it can connect to internet and stream live footage. Cool. But wait, how do we detect if someone is there? I'm using a motion sensor for that, the PIR sensor. The PIR sensor detects any movement, and when that happens, the ESP32 can take action like sending an alert. These will be the main components for this project. So now let's move on to the coding part. So the first thing we need to do is upload the code to our ESP32-CAM. But here's something you might have noticed. The ESP32-CAM doesn't have a USB port like the Arduino or other boards. So we can just plug it in directly. To upload the code we need a programmer. I recommend using this ESP32 programmer board. It's super easy. All you have to do is connect the ESP32-CAM to the programmer's header pins like this, and then use a micro USB cable to connect it to your computer. That's it. Now we need to install the Arduino IDE. Just open up the Microsoft Store and search for Arduino IDE and install it. Simple. Once it's installed, open it up. Now here's the thing. When you go to Tools, then Board, you won't see ESP32 listed here. That's because we need to install support for ESP32 boards. To do that, go to Files and then Preferences, and in the box called Additional Board Manager URL, paste the link I've given in the description below. Then click OK. Next, go to Tools, Boards, and then Boards Manager and search for ESP32 and click Install. Once that's done, you will have all the ESP32 boards available. From this list, choose ESP32 Rover module. That's the one that works with the ESP32-CAM. Now let's open up the example code that comes with the ESP32 library. Go to Files, Examples, ESP32, Camera, and then click on Camera Web Server. We are using this example because it already has the streaming code built in. We just need to add our own logic to send a warning message with the photo when motion is detected. I have written the full code for that and you will find it in the description. Just copy it and paste it into this camera web server code. Now, before we upload the code, we need to add a few details to make it work. Details like your Wi-Fi name and password, your Telegram bot token, and your chat ID. If you are not sure how to get the Telegram bot token, here's what to do. Open the Telegram app and search for botfather, the verified one, and click Start. Then type /new bot. Give your bot a name, then a unique username. Once done, botfather will give you a token. Copy that, we will use it in our code. Now we also need your chat ID, and for that, just search chat ID bot. There are few bots that can help you. Open one, click Start, and it will show you your chat ID. Copy that too. Now search for your bot's username in the search bar. You will see your bot. Click on it and tap Start. Back in the code, paste your Wi-Fi credentials, the bot token, and chat ID in the right places. You can also change the warning message if you want. Just look for the part in the code where the message is defined and customize it however you like. Next, we need to connect the PIR sensor to a GPIO pin. In my case, I am using GPIO 3, but you can also use GPIO 14, 12. Just make sure to update the pin number in the code accordingly. Now before we upload, let's check a few final settings. Go to Tools and make sure the partition scheme is set to Huge App. Board is set to ESP32 Rover module and the correct COM port is selected. The one your ESP32 is connected. So everything's set. Now hit the upload button. It will take a minute. And once it's done, open the CL monitor and set the baud rate to 115200. Then press the reset button on the ESP32-CAM. You will see an IP address appear. That's the address of the live stream. Just copy that IP, paste it into your browser, and you will see the interface where you can stream videos. Alright, now it's time for the connections. Here's the diagram. Just follow this while connecting your components. Now I'm using a custom PCB to make things neat, but you can totally use a breadboard if that's what you have. Just make sure of one important thing. The ESP32-CAM should be powered with exactly 5V, not more, not less. So here's what I am doing for power. So I am using a pair of 18650 batteries. Each one is 3.7V. When I connect them in series, that gives me around 7.4V. Now 7.4V is too much for the ESP32-CAM. It can burn the board if we connect it directly. That's why I'm using a DC to DC buck converter LM2596S to step down the voltage from 7.4V to 5V. I connected the battery's two terminals to the input side of the buck converter. Then I used a multimeter to check the output voltage and calibrate it by rotating the potentiometer on the buck converter. I set the output to exactly 5V. This output terminal of the buck converter will then be connected to the Node MCU's 5V and GND pins. Everything is mentioned in the diagram, so just follow it and you are good to go. If you don't want to do all this, you can also buy a buck converter that already has a fixed 5V output. No matter what, always use a multimeter to double check the voltage. If it's more than 5V, you could burn your board. After that, I connected a JST connector so that I can easily plug the battery into my PCB. Then I took another PCB and attached some spacers and screws between them like this. After that, I fixed a piece of MDF board at the back to mount the battery. I used double-sided tape to attach the buck converter in the middle and the battery at the back. Now let's talk about the PIR sensor. So before connecting it to the ESP32-CAM, we need to calibrate it properly. And for that, I am using an Arduino UNO. So first upload a simple code to the Arduino UNO that's turned on the onboard LED when motion is detected. You will find the code in the description. Just change your board in the Arduino IDE to Arduino UNO. Select the correct port and upload the code. Now connect your PIR sensor. I am using pin 2 for the sensor signal pin. Once it's connected, wave your hand in front of the sensor and you will see the onboard LED turns on whenever motion is detected. That means it's working. The PIR sensor has two small potentiometers on the side. The left one controls the sensitivity or the range, means how far it can detect motion. And the right one controls the time delay, means how long this signal stays high after motion is detected. For our project, we want the time delay to be as low as possible, so turn the right potentiometer all the way to anti-clockwise. Then adjust the sensitivity as needed. but I suggest setting it to medium. If it's too sensitive, it might pick up small movements or false trigger. You can also test it like this. See, when I pass in front of the sensor, it detects my motion and turns on the LED. That means it's working. Once that's done, unplug the PIR sensor from the Arduino and connect it to your ESP32-CAM setup. And I think that's it. Everything is ready. So now let's test it. You can see my security camera setup and my phone here. Now watch. When I wave my hand or move around, the motion sensor detects it and instantly sends me a warning message along with a photo of that movement. You can see it's working fine. I can also watch the live footage directly from the ESP32-CAM. Just enter the IP address we got from the Arduino IDE. Alright, so our project is finally completed. This project is actually very easy to make, and I've given all the diagrams, code and useful links below in the description. Now this is the final section where I will tell you about the problems I faced while making this project so that you can avoid them and save time. So the first issue I faced was with the live streaming part. When you open the streaming interface, you will see a bunch of options on the left side. Now, if you leave everything as default and directly start the stream, you will notice the video gets super laggy and sometimes it even crashes. To fix that, go to the first option called XCLK and set it to 8. Then lower the resolution. Now start the stream. And boom, it works smoothly without lag. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Till then, keep building and stay curious.